Many of us want to study Vedanta but don't know where to start. Here is the answer to that question. Vedanta Vijnana course. It will take one text of Prakarana Grantha, few chapters of Bhagavad Gita and one Upanishad. A study of essential Vedanta to live a transformed life. This course will be taught by an exceptional teacher, Swami Advayananji, who is the resident Acharya for the ongoing Sandipani Vedanta course. And where are we studying? At the Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Powai, Mumbai. Every Sunday, 10:30 to 11:30. Come, learn, get inspired and transform your life. The course is also available online. You can be wherever you are and go through the entire course sincerely.
Hari Om, everyone. I hope I'm audible to one and all. Thank you. I welcome all of you to Chinmaya Mission Mumbai's Mahima Zone talk organized by us on Adhyatmik Ramayana. I am going to start by requesting Bhuvana to perform the invocation.
Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om.
Thank you, Bhuvana. So this Ramanavami, we have decided to learn Adhyatmic significance of the epic from none other than Vedji himself. For almost all of us, Vedji does not require an introduction, but I'm hoping that there are a lot of people over here who are new, and this introduction of Vedji is for their benefit. So Brahmachari Ved Chaithanya has completed his 2 years rigorous training in Vedanta under the guidance of Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomyananji and the tutelage of Swami Advayananji and Shardananji at the Sandipani Sadhanalaya, our main ashram at Powai, Mumbai. And then he received his Brahmachari Diksha in 2013. He was then posted in the Prerna Center at Navi Mumbai, and we all know how dynamic the center grew under his guidance. We still miss you in Mumbai, Vedji. Now Vedji is serving in Chinmaya International Foundation. Over there, he has been instrumental in compiling the questionnaire for the home study courses. There he is also, and those of us who have done the home study courses, we know how rigorous the questionnaire is. It's not easy to complete it. He's also facilitated several webinars, workshops, classes, yajnas, etc. We all know that as a teacher and a guide, he's par excellence. In his Purva Ashram, Vedji has completed his engineering in electronics and telecommunication. He comes from a family that has always been very active in Chinmaya Mission. Being inspired by Swamins of Chinmaya Mission such as Swami Purushothamananji and Swami Siddheshananji, Vedji decided to join the order and serve Pujya Gurudev. We are so thankful for that decision. Thank you, Vedji. Despite your hectic schedule, you have always kept yourself so easily approachable and so relatable. Each time we approach you for a yajna, for a talk, you immediately say yes, and we know how busy you are. So once again, I thank you for the time that you have taken for us. Over to you.
Hari Om. Thank you for that introduction. Let us start with the session. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram Neelambuja Shamala Komalangam Sita Samaropitavama Bhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvam Shanatham Atulita Baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninamagraganyam Sakala Gunanidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. Hari Om. My humble prostrations at the feet of Bhagavan Sri Rama, Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, Bhagavan Shri Adi Shankaracharya Ji, from whose birthplace I am taking this session. To all the organizers, the working team, and to all of you who are present here today, Hari Om. As you know, a few days back, we entered into new year according to the Hindu calendar. Chaitra is the first month according to the Hindu lunar calendar, the calendar that is formed according to the movement of the moon. And thus we have 12 months, the first month being Chaitra. On Chaitra Shuddha Pratipada, first day of the bright fortnight, we have New Year. And incidentally, just yesterday, the solar New Year also has happened. Right? Solar New Year, according to Hindu calendar, again starts on 14th of April. That was yesterday. Right? Now, both these New Years we have started. So the discussion was going on, what should we do which is new in this year? New Year is okay, that every year is New Year. But what new should we do? And this particular time, the 9 days after the New Year starts, which is called as Chaitra Navaratri, from Shuddha Pratipada of Chaitra Masa to Shuddha Navami. This is also very important for sadhana, and many people do sadhana during this Navaratri of Devi as well as of Bhagavan Sri Rama, because on the 9th day, Bhagavan's Janma is going to happen. So today we are Saptami, Ashtami tomorrow, and then 17th will be Navami. On that day, Bhagavan's birth happens. So we were thinking what new can be done in this new year. And a thought came that we have been listening to story of Ramayana for such a long time. Why not reflect on the spiritual significance of the beautiful Ramayana? So keeping that in mind, this 3 days program is organized over 3 sessions. We will try to see what is the spiritual significance of this beautiful story of Ramayana. Now, before we enter into it, let me first itself tell, I know for a fact that all of us who are present here know the story of Bhagavan Sri Rama. So please don't think that I am going to bring out some new stories, etc. Stories are same. Maybe a new perspective of looking at the same stories may be something that we will reflect upon. Okay. So Ramayana, we all know, many of us chant it every day also, whether it is Tulsi Ramayana or Valmiki Ramayana, and it's actually everyday part of our life. Ramayana is actually, it is part of every Indian's life, whether we like it or not. It is part of our ethos as such, right? So Ramayana story we know. Now what we are going to see in these 3 days is how that Ramayana can be applied for our spiritual progress. in a spiritual context. Ramayana is a history. History, itihasa in Sanskrit it is called. Itihasa, thus it happened. Why I'm saying it is a history and emphasizing on it, because for a long time we have been told that Ramayana is a mythology. So let me clarify there. Ramayana is not a mythology. Mythology means that which is based on myth. Myth is that which is not real, which is imagined. That is called as myth. So Ramayana is not a mythology, it is a history, itihasa. And that's why in our Shastras also, we have Puranas which are having separate category, and itihasa is a separate category. And there are only two texts which come under this itihasa. One is Valmikiji's Ramayana and another is Vedavyasji's Mahabharata or Jayam, what is called as the original Grantha. So these two Granthas are called as itihasa, means thus it happened. Now I listen to so many other places, where they also think about the spiritual significance of Ramayana. But while explaining, they say Ramayana never happened. It is happening inside. Okay. So their narrative is Ramayana actually did not happen. It is something that is happening in our everyday life. Now, I have little problem with that statement, because just because it is happening in our everyday life, why should it mean that it never happened? So what we say is, as history, it happened many, many years ago, there in the place called Ayodhya, to Dasharath Maharaj and Kausalya, Sri Rama was born on Chaitra Navami many, many, many years ago. And the entire story, as we hear from Valmiki ji, did happen. But from the same story, we can learn and we can see in Adhyatmik way, in the spiritual way, how the whole Ramayana is being played out within us every day also. So please understand that it did happen. What we are seeing is the spiritual side of that story which happened. Many people also think that to give the spiritual side, Valmiki ji composed the entire Ramayana. Imagined. No, Sri Rama was actually there. Again, that's not true. Because as I said, we have Puranas as a separate category where such akhyaikas are there. Such upakhyanas are there, where very clearly it is mentioned that it's not a true story. It is a story which is being imagined, which is being narrated to tell few points. Let me give you example. We hear Panchatantra stories also, no? From childhood, we have been hearing Panchatantra stories. Panchatantra stories are generally connected with animals, but having human emotions. So they will be played out in a way that two animals are talking, but there is something for us to learn. So we have heard the story of fox and the sour grapes. You remember in the childhood that there was a fox and grapes were there, but at a very high, at a height. So he was trying to jump and eat those grapes, but he could not reach there. So he came and he told all his friends that actually the grapes are sour. They are not sweet. Now, we listen to the story, we understand the significance of the story. Moral of the story, we generally say, no? That whenever a person tries for something, does not get it, says that it was not meant for me. So, childhood, we used to tell my mother, etc. Sometimes they will scold, no, look at that other person, how he is studying, etc. And, see the marks that person is getting and what are you doing? Then you will say, if I want, I can get 98%. But I don't want. That's a lie. Why? Because if you really want, you will get it. That's a lie to say that you want. That is because I can't get there. Somebody has already gone there. So therefore, I am finding faults in that person. That's the fact. So story of the fox and the sour grapes, nobody goes and tries to find out who was that fox, in which year, which grape tree this story happened. No, we don't. Why? Because we understand that it's not part of history. The story is told for us to learn something. Please do not think that Ramayana is a story which is composed like this for us to learn something only. No, it did happen. How Valmiki ji has written. But then after the story is there, we try to get something out of it. We learn. See, in our own life, from the real experiences that happen in our life, sometimes some interesting situation takes place, and then later on we learn something from that situation. True or not? We say, you see, this happened with me. So what do I learn? I learn like this. So again, it is a wrong thing to say that from something that has really happened, you can't learn. Of course you can learn. Nowadays, many movies have come up based on real life stories of people. Correct. But when you look at that, you have so many points that you can learn. While showing the movie also, they will show it in such a beautiful way that it can be communicated. I remember long ago, I saw a movie on Bhagwan Shri Adi Shankaracharya. It's a very old movie. It's a black and white movie, maybe 60s, early 60s, etc. That movie is there. It was originally in Sanskrit and Hindi also. And then in other language, Tamil, etc. also the movie is there. And in that movie, old Shankaracharya movie I'm talking about, in that movie, very interestingly, what they have shown is, Bhagwan Shri Shankaracharya ji has two friends. One is Jnana, another is Mrityu. That is how they have shown. And this Jnana, knowledge, friend is always with him. And whenever Shankaracharya is tired or he doesn't want to do anything, and he is just standing at one place, he will see that because of the sun, his shadow is falling at the feet of the other friend, that is Mrityu, death. And then he immediately remembers, oh, I have very less time. And then again, he gets into the action. Now you understand what the director has tried to do there. Shankaracharya's story as it is, he has shown, but he has added few elements from which we can relate that story to our life, to spirituality. That is what we are trying to do in these 3 sessions about Ramayana. So I hope I have made the point very clear that Ramayana did happen. And we are trying to take out few things. And therefore, you see, when the story is already there, how many points can we take out? It depends on us. Many points in spiritual significance we can take out from that story, right? So some of the important points, as our acharyas, gurus have taken them out, that is what we are going to reflect upon, right? Nothing that I am going to share is my own knowledge. It is all that we have learned from our gurus. They have shown us how the spirituality or how the entire self-knowledge can be explained through the story of Ramayana, right? So that is what we are going to see. So let us start. Ramayana. Ramasya ayanam Ramayanam. What is Ramayana? Ramasya, of Sri Rama, ayanam. Now, ayana word has two main meanings in Sanskrit. One meaning is ayana means house. And another meaning of ayana means path. Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, path. Ayana, same word is there. So Ramayana means what? Path or house of Sri Rama. So house of Sri Rama means what? Suppose you want to meet someone, you go to their house, isn't it? Suppose you want to meet, official meeting, etc. is there, then you will go to office. But you want to really meet somebody, then the person will also say, I'm very busy here. What you do is in the evening, you come to my house. Let us sit over a cup of tea and then we will discuss. You want to meet somebody, you go to their house. In the same way, if you want to meet Sri Rama, where should you go? You should go to his house. What is his house? His house is Ramayana. Many people nowadays have so many theories about Sri Rama. There are books written over it, and there are so many, even movies which have come out portraying that how Ravana was the actual hero and Sri Rama was the villain, and Sri Rama could not protect Sita ji, but Ravana gave up his life but protected Sita ji. All rubbish. Why? Because you go to Ramayana, nothing of that sort is there. Then they will show, no, Ravana was such a great scholar and he was a pandita and bad thing, injustice happened with him. Yes, Ravana was a pandita, was a scholar. Nobody is denying that. Yes, Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. That also nobody is denying. But that doesn't make him a good person. We will see as the story goes forward, Ravana was a wicked, cunning thief. He used to take away everything from every place that he liked. Nothing that was his was actually his. It was taken away from someone else. Pushpaka Vimana was not his, it was his cousin's. Kubera's Pushpaka Vimana he had taken. Entire golden Lanka, none of the gold was he didn't have gold mines, etc., which he took away from here and there and brought all the gold and made Lanka out of it. But not going to Sri Rama's house, not meeting him there, people start to have theories about him. Don't do like that. If we really want to know who was Sri Rama, we should go to Ramayana. One meaning. Second meaning is the path of Sri Rama, the life story of Sri Rama, the path of dharma on which Bhagavan Sri Rama walked. That is what is this entire story of Ramayana. Now we have so many Ramayanas also actually. Means what? Because the story is such a wonderful story that so many people have made it. It is something like, when Shakespeare's drama, let us say, for example, okay, Shakespeare 500 years back, Shakespeare has written few dramas, but they in the story and in the way of writing are so rich that many people after that, directors of movie or drama, etc., they have adapted the same drama in so many ways. Why? Because the story is so beautiful. But still, we will call the original as original. Othello is Othello. Whatever later on people have made, that's okay. Macbeth is Macbeth. Like that, original Ramayana is Bhagavan Sri Valmiki ji's Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, what we call, which was written at the time Bhagavan Sri Rama was alive. Valmiki ji is very much part of the story. He comes in the Ramayana itself, in the story itself, he comes. Valmiki Rishi is the one to whom Sita ji, where Sita ji stays, and she gives birth to her two children, Lava and Kusha. They are born in Valmiki ji's ashram. So Valmiki ji is very much part, not entirely into it, but is part of the Ramayana and has seen everything happening in front of him. And of course, by Bhagwan's grace, he also got this vision and therefore he could write Ramayana. Now, the story is so beautiful that many have later on adopted the story and have written Ramayanas. Right? We have Tulsi Ramayana, Kamba Ramayana, which are very famous. And in all the regional languages of India, we have Ramayanas. We have Ananda Ramayana, Adbhuta Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana, Gita Ramayana, and so many Bhava Ramayana, so many Ramayanas are there. In Sanskrit also and in the regional languages also. Right? But when we speak of Itihasa, we are referring to Valmiki Ramayana. And all the other granthas we don't term as Itihasa. We call them Bhakti Granthas. Why? Because the perspective was Bhakti, to develop Bhakti. Tulsidas ji also, in the beginning itself, he says very clearly that what I am writing as Ramacharitamanasa, the story is taken from Valmiki ji and also from few other people who have written Ramayana. Few stories are taken. But why am I writing it? So that I will get that inner joy of being able to worship and praise my dear Lord Sri Rama. May my mind and speech be purified. For that purpose, I am writing. So the perspective is different. The entire way it is written becomes different. So we refer to Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, as Itihasa. All other Ramayanas we accept very much. We study also because we have so much to learn from them also. But we refer to Itihasa, Valmiki Ramayana only is referred to as Itihasa. Right? This is also clear. Now, let us start the story. We already know we are not going to see the story in these 3 classes. Otherwise, the 3 classes will go in seeing the story only. Okay. So we know, in short, Ayodhya is the place, and now we can proudly say it is the place even today that we have Bhagwan's Janmasthana there, temple is there, and that is the place where Dasharath Maharaj was ruling. He was the king of Surya Vamsha, and Ayodhya was his capital. And Dasharath Maharaj had many wives, but three wives were the main wives of his. They are Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. And this Dasharath Maharaj had a daughter but did not have a son. Therefore, he decided to do Putra Kameshti Yajna. Putra Kameshti Yaga was performed. The Yaga was done by Rishyashringa Rishi, who was his son-in-law, his daughter's husband, right? And so he came and he performed that Putra Kameshti Yaga, and at the end of it, from the phala of that yaga, which he gave to his three queens, three wives, 4 sons were born. To Kausalya, Sri Rama, the eldest son, was born. To Kaikeyi, Bharata was born. And to Sumitra, 2 sons were born, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Okay. As I told you, I'm not going to go into the story how that payasam or phala or that prasada was, divided, etc. I'm not going to go there. In other places, I have already spoken about it. So you can go there and listen. I think in a couple of years back, during this Chaitra Navratri only, I had taken some sessions for Navi Mumbai, online sessions. 9 days we have seen Sankshipta Ramayana, the first chapter of Valmiki Ramayana. There you can see the entire story I have elaborated upon. But the 4 sons were born: Sri Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna. Generally, we say Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Bharata was elder to Lakshmana. That's okay. Don't have to worry. That is because Sri Rama and Lakshmana, they always stayed together. That is why after Rama, Lakshmana comes automatically. Now, this is the first plot. Now, let us understand the spiritual side of this entire thing. Ayodhya is the place. Ayodhya means what? Where yuddha, conflict, war, battle does not happen. Ayodhya. So Ayodhya refers to our heart. Ayodhya refers to our heart, where mind is ruling. Ayodhya is the place where Dasharatha is ruling, correct? So in spiritual significance, now spiritual significance means what? We will connect this entire story to ourselves. Okay, that's called as spiritual significance. So Ayodhya refers to our heart. Dasharath Maharaj refers to our mind. And how is this mind? This mind is Dasharatha. He was named Dasharatha because one backstory is there that once Devatas wanted his help to defeat some Asuras. Therefore, he went and helped Indra. And he had such a capacity that he could drive his own chariot in all the 10 directions while fighting. So he was so much skilled. All 10 directions, no, because in heaven, the entire war is happening in the sky. So not only 8 directions, but up and down. 10 directions are there where the chariot is being taken and still he's fighting. So one who has mastery over his chariot in all the 10 directions. Therefore, Dasha, 10. Ratha means chariot. So Dasharath Maharaj was like that. Now, Ayodhya is heart, where no conflict happens. Ayodhya. And how Dasharath Maharaj is? Dasharath Maharaj is the mind that is ruling Ayodhya. But how should the mind be? Mind should have control over the 10 organs that we have. We have 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action. Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas. Correct? Shrotram, Tvaka, Chakshu, Rasana, Granam, iti pancha jnanendriyani. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, iti pancha karmendriyani. These are 5 organs we have. Mind is the in charge of all these organs. Means what? Jnanendriyas, whatever input comes in, it is the mind which takes the input, which collates all the inputs and gives one final output to the intellect. And when something is to be done, again it is the mind which gets it done through the 5 organs of action. So mind is in charge of these 10 organs that we have, 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action. Dasharatha refers to the mind which controls all the 10 organs. Careful. If mind is not controlling the organs, then wherever the organs want to go, mind will take us there. Suddenly our eyes look at something and we say, oh, that is so beautiful, I want to have it. Then suddenly some beautiful smell comes and I want to go there. I want to eat this. I want to listen now to nice music. Now please stop talking. All of you, shut up. I don't want to do anything. I just want to lie down. No work for my legs. Don't ask me to play anything, instruments, etc. Also, I want rest for my hand. If organs start to govern, mind will take us everywhere. Just as when Dasharath Maharaj is fighting, suppose the chariot is being taken in different directions by the horses, chariot is not under control, he will not be able to fight. Nor will he able to control anything and go where he wants to go. So Dasharath Maharaj here refers to our mind. Or rather than saying our mind, it refers to mind which can control all the 10 organs. It is not right to say it for our own mind because we know how our mind is. We may tell all the kind of stories and we listen to the stories and we think that we are better and then we look down upon somebody. But we know what we are. We know how simple temptations in the world also will take us out. And we will lose peace of mind. We will go run behind this and then run behind that and panting, etc. We will sit down only for a couple of minutes to take rest. Again, we will get up and again we will start running here and there. So, what we say as ideal thing is shown. Ayodhya is the heart which has no conflicts. Dashratha Maharaj refers to the mind which has control over 10 organs. Now, this mind is married to mati, buddhi, intellect. So there are 3 kinds of intellect as here mentioned: Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. What Kausalya is referring to? Kausalya is referring to the intellect that is concerned about welfare of all the people and which brings prosperity to everyone. That's the meaning of the word Kausalya also. That which brings prosperity. So Kausalya refers to the intellect, buddhi, that is selfless, that is thinking about everyone. The benefit, welfare of everyone, and which will actually bring prosperity to the whole world. Selfishness can only bring what we call as degradation. It cannot bring any goodness. If I am selfish, if I think of my own prosperity, actually I will create a lot of problems in the world. But when I start to think about everyone's welfare, then the prosperity that is created is long-lasting and permanent. Therefore, Kausalya Mata, the mother Kausalya, refers to that intellect which is selfless, which is thinking about the welfare of all and which will bring prosperity. Number 2, Sumitra, second wife, second queen. Sumitra again refers to intellect which has attitude of friendship for everyone, with everyone. No pride, no arrogance, ego is there, but friendship towards everyone is there. Many times we feel that friendship is a mental quality, not intellectual quality. But actually speaking, when it comes from intellect, that mental quality of friendship becomes very good. When it comes from intellect means what? When I feel that I am superior than all other people, I can never have friends. When I say all other people, they don't know anything, idiot people, I know, then you can't have friendship with everyone. Sumitra, Mitra means friend. She is a good friend of everyone. So intellect which has got this capacity to do friendship with everyone, that quality of intellect is called as Sumitra. Now third, very interesting. Third one is Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is the intellect which has contrasting qualities of compassion and passion. Carefully note. Kaikeyi, if you see the character of Kaikeyi in the entire story of Sri Ramayana also, you will see that Kaikeyi is extreme. When she loves in extreme ways. And when she creates problems in extreme ways. Many of us know this story that Kaikeyi asked these two boons, because of which later on Bhagavan Sri Rama and Sita ji and Lakshmana also had to go to forest. But very few of us know that actually it was Kaikeyi who gave everything to Sri Rama and Sita ji. It is said that when the marriage happened, when Sri Rama's marriage happened, at the same time all the other three brothers also got married. So her own son Bharata also got married. But when the marriage happened in Mithila Nagari and when they came back to Ayodhya, she gave her palace to Sita ji and Sri Rama, not to her own son. And her palace was the best palace in Ayodhya. A golden palace, Kanak Mahal. Even today it is there. Kanak Mahal, which is there, you see that. Of course, it is not in the glory that it was because so many years have passed. But I am saying it was built by her father who was very rich, and that's why she was the youngest wife of Dasharath Maharaj also, and very pampered, and she had everything best. But the moment her sons got married, she considered Sri Rama more dear to her than even Bharata. And therefore, she gave her own palace to Sita ji. And they lived in that palace for 12 years. The story that we see of Vanvasa, etc., happens afterwards. Right? So when she loves, when she is compassionate, she is compassionate. She gives everything, doesn't hold back. But when she has passion, when she has desire, and when that desire turns cunning, the same intellect starts to plot against the mind and against everything. We will see in the episode later on how this intellect gets influenced and what all things happen. But Kaikeyi refers to that intellect which has both compassion and passion. So thus what do we see? We see that in the heart which has no conflict, when the mind which is controlling all the 10 organs is ruling, and is accompanied by, married to these three kinds of intellect. Number one, the intellect that thinks of welfare of all. Number two, intellect that has friendship with everyone. And number three, the intellect which has compassion and passion. In such a place, heart, Ayodhya, to such parents, to such mind and intellect, 4 children are born. What are these 4 children? First one is Sri Rama. Beautiful. The word Rama itself is so beautiful in Sanskrit. Sri Rama or Rama word comes from root Ram. Ram means to revel, to enjoy. And Rama, the word means one who revels within. Atma Rama. One who revels within means spiritually, Adhyatmik Drishta, when we see that the self is the one which has nothing to do with the world. And the Jnani also, which is immersed in this self, doesn't go out for enjoyment. He revels within. Prajahati yada kaman, sarvan parthamanogatan, atmani eva atmana tushtaha, sthita prajnastadochyate. Famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. How is that jnani? Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is content in the self by the self. Means he doesn't require anything else to become happy. We require so many things to become happy because we think that we are not happiness. And we think that the happiness lies in the world. Therefore, what do we say? There should not be too hot, it should not be too cold, but it should be right temperature. Then I want everything comfortable around me. This TV here and this here, sofa here, this here, AC here, like this, like this, like this. Then I am happy. Our happiness is dependent on the world of objects because we think that the world is giving me happiness. Ramaha means one who is content, blissful, happy, reveling within himself, doesn't need anything outside. By that definition, the Supreme Self, Paramatma, is called as Rama. One meaning of Sri Ram. Another meaning of Rama word itself means Ramante Yogino Yasmin. One in whom all the seekers revel. That Lord of the universe is also called as Rama. That Paramatma, seekers, yogis, munis, rishis, they are continuously contemplating on that Rama. That also Paramatma. Therefore, another way also, Paramatma is referred to as by the word Rama. Third meaning. One who revels in all. Careful. What was the first meaning? One who revels in himself. Atma Rama. Second, one in whom everyone, the seekers, the devotees, the disciples, all of them one revel in whom? In that supreme consciousness. That is also called as Rama. Third, one who revels in all, through all. Means what? The self, the supreme self, is the same self that dwells in everyone. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in 18th chapter that it is this Lord, the supreme consciousness, that dwells in everyone's heart. So here also Sri Rama refers to that supreme self, Paramatma. All right? We all are that. The only thing is that we don't know that. Why? Because our heart is in conflict. Because our mind is not controlling our sense organs. And because our intellect is not supporting the mind is not supporting the intellect. Everyone is going in their own direction. Therefore, being Sri Rama, we don't recognize that we are Sri Rama. So the entire Ramayana is what? Entire Ramayana is the story for us to meet ourselves. We are going to have introduction with ourselves. Generally, we give introduction to other people. No, I am so and so. I am like this. I am like this. Now what? Now we are going to have introduction to yourself. We are all going to meet ourselves. Why? Because this Rama, who is Paramatma, appears to be separated from his own nature and appears to be going through different pangs and problems of life, finally becomes one with the Supreme. So the entire story is for that. Right? Sri Rama. Now the three brothers that he has, they refer to different qualities that we must have in order to experience our real nature. These are the qualities which are born from that mind and intellect. See, mind and intellect is Dashrath Maharaj and the three wives, isn't it? From them, these qualities will be there. If we adopt these qualities, if we inculcate these virtues, then we will become equipped to realize. What are those qualities? Lakshmana refers to the two qualities of Vairagya and Seva. These are not just random qualities which we have taken from somewhere, but this is what we see in his own life. If we see the life of Lakshmana, Lakshmana always lived a life of detachment and dispassion. He was married and nicely, nobody told him to go to forest, but for his brother, he went to forest. He gave up everything. And it is said 14 years when they were in forest, he used to do all the work. He will create, he will build a house for them to stay, simple house. He will bring the fruits, etc. to be eaten. He will take care of his elder brother and, sister-in-law, like his parents. He took care of both of them. Even in some Ramayanas, it is said that he did not sleep for 14 years. And his wife slept here in Ayodhya on his behalf, so that he can serve the Lord. Very interesting, all these things are. He did not eat for 14 years, they say. He will bring the fruits, etc. And, for them, he will just look at them and, make sure that they get everything. He did not. Then he will protect the entire land, make sure that nobody is coming and attacking, etc. 14 varshe ahara nidra nahite asi. In Marathi also there is, in Aarti also it is there. That in 14 years, he did not have any ahara, no food, no nidra, no sleep. So two things that will come out is dispassion and service. That seva bhava of Lakshmana. Next is Bharata. Oh, what to say about Bharatji? The qualities that Bharatji shows us is love and sacrifice. We always connect Lakshmana to Sri Rama, and we say the love between them was very strong. But love between Sri Rama and Bharata was, what to say? If you have gotten chance to listen to Puja Guruji, Swami Tejomananji, Tulsi Ramayan, etc., just the name Bharata will make him cry. He doesn't even have to tell story of Bharata. Just by saying Bharata, his eyes will be, full of tears. Why? We see that kind of, love between Bharata and Sri Rama throughout Ramayana. Unparalleled love. And sacrifice. When Bhagavan went to that Vanvasa for no fault of Bharatji, and Bharatji was made the king, he refused to be the king, of course, and he went and tried to convince Sri Rama to come back also, but he did not come back. So he brought the Padukas and he kept the Padukas on the throne and served the throne not by being a king, but being a servant of a king. By being a dasa of Sri Rama, he ruled the beautiful land, right? And if you go to Ayodhya, just 5-6 kilometers away from Ayodhya is where Nandigrama is, where he used to stay. So his thinking was that because Sri Rama is staying in a forest, he has no, comforts of a palace. I, being his younger brother, have no right to stay in a palace. So though he was king, nobody would have said anything if he was staying in the palace of the king. But he stayed in a hut outside the capital. And that also, if you go to Nandigrama even today, where Bharatji used to stay, is underground. He made a pit inside the earth and stayed. Why? He said, if my brother is sleeping on the earth, on the ground, I should sleep below him. Can you imagine the amount of sacrifice? It is easy to remember someone who is always with you. It is very difficult to remember someone who is away from you. Lakshmanji was great because he served Sri Rama by being with Sri Rama throughout. Bharatji was great because he remained away from Bhagavan, still thought of nobody other than Bhagavan. We see number of, occasions that he has in the Ramayana story, where he is ruling Ayodhya and ruling the Rajya in such a way, every time he is thinking what Sri Rama would have done. That's the only way that he has he has taken care of the entire kingdom. And Bhagwan congratulates him the way he has taken care of the kingdom. It is not that he is just for time pass he is doing. No. He took care of the kingdom very thoroughly, very professionally, but all the time thinking about Bhagwan Sri Rama, who was his Lord, who was his master, who was his elder brother. So Bharatji indicates these two beautiful qualities of love and sacrifice. Actually, these love and sacrifice cannot be separated. These two qualities always go hand in hand. If you love someone, that love is shown by your way of sacrificing things for that person. Right? So love and sacrifice is indicated by Bharatji. Fourth brother is Shatrughna. Shatrughna refers to two more beautiful qualities of selflessness and humility. Very important qualities. See, Shatrughna was serving Bharata, who was serving Rama, Sri Rama. So Shatrughna was actually Dasa. He was the servant of the servant. And therefore, his humility is again unparalleled. We see also in the story. And selflessness, absolutely, he is not even thinking about himself. He is thinking about Bharatji, who is thinking about Sri Rama. So you see, his priority comes last. He will do what Bharatji wants and Bharatji will do what Sri Rama wants. So finally, Shatrughna will do everything that others want and not what he wants. So that selflessness and humility is what is indicated by Shatrughna. Okay. So what we understand from this setup is, many years back, no doubt, Bhagwan Sri Rama was born in Ayodhya to Dashrath Maharaj and Kausalya as a brother of Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. But that Rama Janma, that birth of Sri Rama, can happen in our own heart. When the heart is without the conflict, when mind is in charge and controller of the organs, 10 organs, when the intellect has got these qualities of thinking about welfare of all, being friends with everyone, the quality of compassion, and when we have the virtues such as dispassion, service, love, sacrifice, selflessness, and humility, when these virtues are there, when all these things come together, then that self-knowledge, then that self, Paramatma, will be born in us. This is called as spiritual significance of the story. Now, keeping this as the base, now different things are happening in the life of Sri Rama. From each story, we will not be able to take each story, but from some of the important stories, we will learn what is to be learned from that entire story. Right? So Bhagavan is born along with 3 more brothers that he has, and they are growing up. Then comes important part of the story when Rishi Vishwamitra comes to Dashrath Maharaj and says that I need your son to protect my yaga. I am doing a very important yajna yaga. As a king, it is your responsibility to give protection to all the people, and I want to take your son there in the forest to protect my yaga. We know the story. First Dashrath Maharaj says no, etc. And then Vasishta Rishi, who is the Kulaguru of Raghuvamsha, the guru of Dashrath Maharaj, also explains how it is important for Sri Rama to go with Vishwamitra Rishi. And finally, Sri Rama, of course, Lakshmana is always with Sri Rama. Both of them go with Vishwamitra Rishi. They go there to protect the yaga. On the way, there are so many demons which are killed. First one, Tataka, is killed on the instruction of Vishwamitra Rishi. First, Sri Rama kills Tataka. First Asura that Sri Rama has killed is Tataka. And then later on, while protecting the Yajna Yaga, so many other Asuras also attack, and them also Bhagavan has killed. 2 sons of Tataka, Maricha and Subahu. Maricha he does not kill, but with his one arrow, he throws him 100 yojanas. Very far he throws him. And Subahu is killed, Trisharas is killed, so many other asuras are killed. So we see that entire episode. Now what do we learn from this entire thing? See, Vishwamitra Rishi, Vishwamitra, one who is friend of all. So what is he coming and doing? He comes and says to Dashrath Maharaj that, you you have a son who is avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu. Don't keep him just there in your palace, let everybody have his company. So he is friend of all. So for the benefit of all, he brings Bhagavan out of the palace to the common place where all the rishis, munis and seekers are there. So Vishwamitra does that. And we also see in the story also it is very important because Vishwamitra Rishi teaches Sri Rama and Lakshmana all the important knowledge. So many vidyas etc. are taught. Bala, Atibala etc. is also taught by Vishwamitra Rishi. Vishwamitra Rishi himself in Purvashrama was a king, the Kshatriya, isn't it, of Raghuvamsha itself. So therefore he knows all these things. Therefore he has even taught them so many astras, shastras, and that vidya also is taught by Vishwamitra Rishi to Sri Rama and Lakshmana. Not only that, he has taught them so many life skills. We see in the story very beautifully. Life skills are taught because you see they are prince. You see Sri Rama and Lakshmana, they are born in the palace, always staying in comfort when just 2 claps and servants will come. Now they are in the forest alone, and not only that, they have to serve their guru Vishwamitra Rishi who is there. So they have to get up before, and we see very beautifully in the story also that first time when they go to the forest, Vishwamitra Rishi gets up first and then he is waking up both of them, Sri Rama and Lakshmana. That is where that famous shloka is also there in the Valmiki Ramayana. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Nara Shardula Kartavyam Daivam Annikam Uttishthotishta. You remember that story? Not Uttishthotishta Govinda. That is the other stotra, but this particular shloka is from Valmiki Ramayana, where Vishwamitra Rishi is waking them up. But then Sri Rama and Lakshmana, they understand, what is this happening? Our guru is waking up before us and waking us up. We should be serving him. So from next day onwards, they wake up before and they do everything for guru, etc. So we see life skills also, how to take care of yourself, how to live in the forest with minimum things, and how to do everything. Those things are also taught. So Vishwamitra Rishi taking Sri Rama has got positive, benefit for everyone. Even towards the asuras, etc. were killed, it is good for them only that has happened. Even for Sitaji, etc., because if he would not have taken, then next story would not have happened. He would not have gone to Sri Rama and Lakshmana would not have gone to Janakapuri, to Mithila, and they would not have gotten married. So to everyone, this is a very, 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 very important and beautiful thing. Now this killing of Tataka and Maricha and Subahu, that also has got some spiritual significance. Tataka refers to Durasha. Asha means expectation or worry. Durasha means wrong expectation, false expectation. First thing that Bhagavan Sri Rama has killed is this false expectation. What do you mean by false expectation? False imaginations we have. While living in life also, how we can understand is, we have some expectation, some thinking that is very wrong. We think money will give happiness. All the people around us, they love us and they will be with us always. When I do something good, people will praise me. All these are false expectations. In life, we have lived enough life to understand that nothing like this happens. So this Durasha, wrong expectation or false expectation, is to be destroyed first. First, get your basics straight. Don't think that something of the world will give you happiness. Whether it is people or whether it is objects. Money is also an object only finally. That cannot give me happiness. Only when I start to understand this, then my spiritual journey begins. I always say Adhyatmic person is one who does not go out for his happiness, but starts to seek that happiness within. Now, when he starts to seek the happiness within, the next obstacle that comes is lots of negativities that one has. Those different faults, negativities, vices are indicated by Maricha, dosha. Dosha is vices. Who is the son of Tataka? From false expectation, all these negativities are born. Now, what Bhagavan does is, Bhagavan does not kill Maricha, but he throws him so far, and because of that incident, Maricha becomes devotee of Sri Rama. So dosha, Sanskrit dosha, etc. Don't think of that. Dosha means what? Faults, vices, bad qualities, negativities. These negativities are to be turned into positivities, not to be destroyed. They are to be turned. Change the face of it. Suppose you have problem that I get attached to people very fast, then get attached to Lord. That same quality of attachment will become a virtue. You understand how the vices are to be turned towards virtues? That is Maricha. And another son of Tataka is Subahu, who represents Dukkha. Of course, from vices, all these sorrow only is born. Now that sorrow, don't turn, you destroy that sorrow. So thus we see Bhagavan Sri Rama first killing Tataka, then turning Maricha into a devotee, and then killing Subahu. First we have to do is, we have to stop false expectations, turn within, convert all our vices into virtues, and then destroy sorrow. Then our yajna is protected. Yajna refers to sadhana, worship. Yajna will be protected when we do all these things. Okay. Then what happens? That we will see tomorrow. You always should end with suspense. No, but Vedji, we already know what happens. What happens? Then they will get married. Sri Rama will go there. In between there is one story. And you may know that Sri Rama will get married to Sitaji. But what is Sitaji representing? What is this marriage we are talking about? All that we will see in tomorrow's session. All right. Same time, 5:30 to 6:30. Yeah. Shall we conclude with Purnamada?
Yes.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.